Hey everyone, Christian here from CK Wraps. I'm going to show you how to wrap the bumper on this Mercedes SL550. Sorry for the noise. We have the door open today, so we're going to hear some noise of doing construction around here. But it does provide a bit better lighting, so I figured you'd want to see it. I'll speak a little bit louder and a little bit more clearly so that you can understand what I'm saying. So I want to explain a few things here. First of all, we've put a layer of Knifeless tape here, a line of Knifeless tape. So we're doing this bumper in two sections. The reason being is that to bend this chrome, and we're using Vivid Luster Red chrome, to bend this chrome around with a 90-degree bend and to get it to come up here at the same time is going to be extremely difficult, especially if you're doing this on your own. It may even not work out at all. And this is a massive piece to waste. So this bumper is actually almost 140 inches long, which is pretty huge, so it's over 10 feet. So we don't want to waste it. The material is quite expensive, and because it is chrome. It's also going to make your installation a lot cleaner and a lot easier. This line here, you're barely even going to notice it. Vivid uses clear adhesive, so we're not really too concerned about seeing a white layer or a gray line across. It's going to be completely clear. Nothing will even stick to it in the end, so we're going to be totally good. It won't have any debris or dirt or anything stuck to that edge. It'll be totally fine. We've done this before. We have to do this on mirrors, some door handles, mirrors for the most part, trunks, that kind of stuff. So we masked off certain areas. Rear diffuser down here, we're not going to wrap that. There's some trim along the side here. We haven't removed it. We're going to work around it. It's very simple once you mask it off. And of course, we've masked off the opposing edges on both rear quarter panels. We've wiped the surface down with isopropyl alcohol, and we've blown away all the contaminants using a compressor. Another thing I'd like to point out here is that we're going to be cutting out all of these rear reverse sensors. And the reason being is that when we put chrome over the rear or any sensor, it actually goes bonkers. So usually, even if those were white, we would have to wrap them in gloss black or satin black or whatever. So they would have to be black, because black is just kind of a color that just goes with everything. So just to explain that, I will be cutting those out. This process maybe an hour to two, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to try and get to it. So I've got magnets already ready, wrap glove, all my tools, my blade, my squeegee, and my heat gun. So we're good to go. I'm going to start unraveling this. And we're going to rock this. So I'm going to do this larger panel first, and I'll explain why right now. I'm going to do this larger panel first because I'm going to put this other piece on the top side afterwards, because the seam will actually face down and away from most people, and so making it even a little bit less noticeable. The seam in the end is only going to be about 1/8 of an inch. I line up the Knifeless tape so that we have about only 1/8 of an inch and not 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. We just want to make sure our seam overlap isn't huge. We want to make sure it's nice and thin and consistent. If it's thin, we want to make sure that we're not overstretching the film, because it could pull back, so we have to be cautious of that. But we're going to be very careful as far as the install goes, and there shouldn't be a lot of overstretching at all. This should lay down very smooth, because as you can see, it goes flat. We're going to have some stretch along here, but then it goes flat again. So we're going to end up with a bit of slack down here that we're going to have to contour in. So let's get going here. So I have my piece cut. And we're just going to get this into position right now. So generally where I need it. If you roll it up, it's really easy to lay it just like you saw me do. All right. Again, magnets on the opposing panels. I'm just going to reposition now. Perfect. So a couple of things I want to point out here, so you can see that we have a lot of slack down here. Then it comes in, it comes a little bit more smooth. I can even just push that in with my hand, but we're going to run into a bit of an issue down here. So the reason why, again, why we're doing the top piece in a separate section, is because we're going to have a lot of issues down here already as it is. We're going to have to work this out, and to be able to work the top and the bottom is going to be extremely difficult. Most likely it will result in failure. Especially with a film that's this thick. If it was gloss, I could probably do it without the inlay, but because it's matte, it has the extra layer on top of it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. All right, so position this a little bit higher. Perfect. So we're gonna start. I haven't used any tack reducer on this. This is a completely vertical surface. We're gonna roll off the backing paper. I'm gonna take my magnets and stick them where I need them. Now Andrew's videotaping as opposed to helping me, so I'm going to show you how to do this on your own. So let me grab, I'm trying to grab the paper here. Okay, I'll get it. There we go. Okay. So by unraveling or by removing the backing paper like this, we reduce a lot of the chances of drawing in contamination from elsewhere. We've been as thorough as we could have been by blowing away all the contaminants with a compressor, but you never know. So it's always good to remove the backing paper against the panel. Okay, I'm gonna start lifting this off here a little bit so I can draw out some of this paper. That's it. So all the static should dissipate. We're going to just generally see where we are right now, and we're going to reposition the film to where we need it. So we're going to create glass right now. And just a bit at a time. I need to figure out how high I need this still. Okay. You can see I'm pulling very consistently. I'm not even pulling that hard yet because we don't need to pull that hard across this area right now. So what we need to do is glass this. And we can pull up because we have our fingers running across. So we're glassing it right now. Very straightforward. We can squeegee some of this down. Now it is a hot day today. So I can release some of the air by lifting it up. Now again, if this was a regular film, I would be doing this bumper in one piece. So gloss chrome or gloss chrome or regular film, I'd be doing this in one piece. So I still want to pull out a little bit more here. Okay. I'm going to just gently place this here. Before we add too much tension, we're going to squeegee some of this out. All right. I'll probably need to grab my heat gun right about now. And just kind of see where we are. So, if you have a friend to help you out, this is where extra hands come in handy. Your friend can actually pull up and down or vertically while you pull horizontally, creating way less wrinkles in this area here. So when we bend this film across, we're going to actually be creating a lot of wrinkles that are going to be running across right now. So again, heating consistently across, making sure that we're not overheating it, we're just softening the film. We got to give it a bit of heat so we can just get it to be a little bit more malleable. Okay, we're going to go a bit, and then we're going to come up again. So I'm just looking to see how I'm going to work this out right now. Squeegee some of this out. I want to get some of this coming down. Consistency always. So I use my fingers when I can. All right, here comes the hard part. We need to take a little bit more stretch from this area here, as it kind of bulges out compared to the bottom that ends up curving in. I'm going to reach in a little bit closer here and stretch that out. Try to draw that up a little bit. Okay. Just got my squeegee. Okay, I gotta get another squeegee. So again, if we had someone to help here to pull this way, it would make this a lot easier right now. What we can do is just squeegee it a little bit at a time. If you're working on your own. Okay. So I pull up on the wrinkles, they usually go away. just looking to see how we're doing around the bottom here. So what I can do, because we're cutting out this diffuser right now, is I can find out where that diffuser ends. I have blue tape here, and I can cut down now and cut around so we don't tear the vinyl. And get this piece and kind of work it this way or that way. Now we have options. Or pull it straight down if we can. So we have some options. I'm going to start finishing up this side over here. I'm just watching the film, looking to see what it wants to do. This is the trim piece that I have right here, or the car has right here on the bumper that we've masked off. Okay, stick that to the car there. We're gonna work some of this down. There we go. I'm going to keep tension on this. And if I lay down, I can put myself in a better position. So I can pull and get most of those wrinkles out, kind of reset it. We've got to keep doing that. We're going to work it down. Remember, I'm just heating until I feel the film soften, and then I'm pulling it a bit, not too much, because I don't want to damage the film. If I let it cool a little bit, then it will kind of just stay there, and then I can release it a little bit and squeegee some more. So we're pretty consistent across that side there. It's an extreme ab workout. Okay. What I need to do is level this out a little bit more over here, and then we can start squeegeeing down the rest of the way. If we heat too much while doing this, we can actually burn one of these wrinkles into the film. So just heating enough, a little bit at a time, is really important. Keep looking under the film to see how far I have to go and kind of where I can grab on with my hands. Oh, all right. So this isn't really normal to work the film like this. This is only because this is this particular film. This is not because, I mean, if we had a gloss pearl white or whatever, it would be way easier. This would have all been glassed. It would have all been hugging the bumper. This is just how we have to take our time working with chrome. This is why chrome costs a lot more to install. The material's more expensive, and it's also a lot more difficult to work with. And this is why we lift the car. So I can get underneath, I can get it, put myself in a good position. Without having the car lifted, it would be much more difficult. Let me cut this off. Where's my knife? There it is. All right. So that just makes it a little bit easier to lay this section over here. I do have a bit of residue from the tape that I used to hold it together. All right. That's the bottom section. So out of this whole bumper, the hardest part is going to be this bottom section over here. So a little more heat. Overstretching isn't really much of a thing with this film because we can't really do it, as I mentioned in other videos. Can't really pull it all that much. I'm just trying to get these wrinkles spread out. It's extremely difficult. Use the hard edge underneath. use the hard edge just to keep these wrinkles away. All I'm doing is reading the film, what it wants to do. I'm trying to manipulate it the best that I can, which is the hard part. I can actually trim here, get rid of some of this. Okay. All right, that's the bottom. To the top. Alright, sorry, we got interrupted. Started to run out of memory for the camera, so we had to delete some stuff. Anyways, back to it. So we're going to work the top section here after working the bottom corner. So it's pretty easy actually. It's fairly glass, it's fairly straight. So we're just going to start by working it into this recess. Work it in gently. Pulling up on the vinyl, of course. And then we're laying it right into that recess, that way there's no chance of failure. I'm going to add a touch of heat right here. Just wanted to even this out a little bit. All right, work our way up to the top. There we are. Now we got to get over the knifeless tape, which is across here. We're gonna have to go up a little bit, so I'm gonna have to heat it just a bit. This is an area that you really don't want to add a lot of stretch to, because it will pull back. We're gonna have a bare edge here. So just heating it up enough again so that we can get it around. I'm gonna add a little bit more heat with the heat gun, and I'll use the glove to go over it just a little bit, and then we're gonna move on to the other side. Want to soften it. Making sure that we're on the other side of the knifeless tape with the wrinkles, because if we're not, it's going to show up on the knifeless tape. So the problem with the knifeless tape is that the film doesn't actually want to stick to the knifeless tape. I kind of wish it did, it would be nice, but it doesn't. So you can see the amount of trouble we would have up here if we had to do this all in one piece with this film. We have a lot of slack up here, which would be a huge, huge problem. So doing that in two pieces will be just fine once we're done. All right, we're gonna move on to the other side. I'm not sure how the lighting is. Generally the same thing. So kind of debating whether to even show you the side or just get it done, and then we're going to show you how we do the knifeless tape. Actually, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this off right now. I'm going to finish off this side really quick, and then we're going to do I'm going to do the knifeless tape, and then I'm going to do the insert here and show you guys how to do that part as well as some of the trimming. So what I did on that side, we're going to do again on this side, and then I'm going to finish this off right now, and then we're going to come back to this and do the knifeless tape and the inlay right here. And you're going to see how that looks in the end, along with the trimming around the edges and fixing everything up. All right, everyone, I'll do part 2 in a moment. All right, we're back for the other section of the bumper that we're going to do here. So we've laid down knifeless tape for the inlay on the top. We've wrapped the other side of the bumper, very similar to the side that we did on this side. And now we're going to cut this panel out right here using the knifeless tape that we've already pre-laid. So to use knifeless tape, it's very easy. You take it, bring it right to the edge of the film, and we're going to take that and we're going to put our thumb right over the edge, and we're just going to pull it. And as you can see, this tape cuts this particular chrome very effortlessly. Sorry, I can't even speak right now. Effortlessly. I still can't speak. Yeah, so you can see there's no fraying of the chrome itself, and that's even with a matte laminate put over top. So the chrome was actually completely intact. It's cutting a very nice, very straight line. And we're going to take that away. Completely gone. We have another layer of knifeless tape under the film that we have to remove. So there's going to be 2 layers. There's one on top that you can see right now, and then there's one underneath. Once we remove the one underneath, we have to go over this edge and smooth it down. So don't forget to do that. What I like to do is, because this gets a little messy, is wrap it up in the vinyl that we just removed. All right. And get that out of the way. Now I'm going to go over it probably without any heat. Shouldn't need any right now. Then we're going to lay down the next layer of knifeless tape. Right over top of that. I'm going to show you how we're going to lay that. Give me 1 second, let me grab it. So when laying this layer of knifeless tape, we're going to line it up. And what I like to do is line it up right to the edge, not the string edge, the tape edge, to the edge of where we already laid the film. So you can see that that green edge matches the red edge. And this keeps everything nice and uniform and gives you just enough overlap to create a nice clean seam. So we're going to be extra cautious when going around the bend here. Whatever you do, don't stretch the tape. The tape is pretty conformable, and this is actually the design line, so it's even a little bit more conformable than the other lines that they have. So I'm just going to try and get this done here so we can line it up. Use our finger to press out the air. Take our time. Mainly, we don't want to have to lift the tape off again and redo it, because it kind of throws the tape out of whack. So you want to get this done in one shot. So I lead from very far away, within about a foot, I'd say 12 to 18 inches, keeping the line as straight as possible. I have a little bit of tension on it, not much. So you can see this trunk is actually damaged, so we may see some of that through the film, but I kind of doubt it. So we're just taking our time. It's a bit of a slower process when we're doing this piece as opposed to the piece we did prior, just because we're trying to line this up as perfectly as possible, while doing the other pieces a little bit easier, because we're just kind of working on the body line. So using your glove too is really important. It helps your fingers slide across the tape as opposed to getting stuck. I always leave anywhere from 3 to 5 inches on the ends, depending on kind of how we have to reach it, where we have to pull it from, that sort of thing. So again, being extra cautious around the bend here. And that's done. So I'm going to bring it up to about there. It's 3 or 4 inches or so. I'm going to take the tape, cut it off, push down here just in case we don't pull it back, or just so that we don't pull it back too far. Take the end and fold it. That way we have a piece to grab onto, okay? So this piece won't stick to the car. We don't have to sit there and try and dig it off. We'll be fine. Then I take the piece on the roll itself, fold that as well. I didn't quite fold this. There we go. It's fine. So now I'm just going to wipe this surface down very quickly with some isopropyl alcohol, and just to make sure we don't have any more contaminants on it. And I'm going to lay the top piece. So let me do that really quick. It's right behind you. So I've been hearing that my wife Christina has better camera skills than Andrew.
Who told you that?
Someone posted it up. Someone posted it up. I didn't send it to you.
You're gonna have to watch more videos.
Yeah. So Andrew's been working on his camera game, but I think my wife just does it naturally. So, all right. So we're good as far as that goes. I'm going to take the piece that I have rolled up right here, which is for that specifically. It's going to be really long because it's the entire length of the bumper. Because what I did is I cut it off from the top piece because we had so much left over from when we cut the front bumper out. So we cut the front and rear bumper out already. The front bumper is ready to go. Take that piece, and what I need to do is actually take that tape, get it right around here. And I'm just going to use that to generally place this where I need it. So somewhere around here. Cut off the excess. All right. So to do this, we're going to be contouring this piece around. It's cut a little bit larger than the size that we need it, or sorry, the leftover piece that's there. And I'm not even going to do an inlay in this dip down here. I'm actually going to do this all in one piece. And you're going to see how the film will bend. I'm just going to stick that there for a moment. We need to get this into position. See that I can just pull the film down like that. How easy that was to glass. So easy. Again, pretty much the same thing around this side. As you can see, I'm contouring it in. Okay? Contouring the film into this area. Just trying to get it in the right spot. There we go. So you can see the film is already kind of just laying in there. That's great news. That's exactly what we want. So let's kind of figure out where our edge is here. So I have to just alleviate a bit of, we have a little wrinkle right here. There we go. I'm going to go over the knifeless tape edge. I'm going to go over this edge first. And what's nice about this is everything's going to be tight where that edge is. Because I've literally pulled the film around the edge, so it's just grabbing on naturally. So again, I could be using a glove right now, it'd probably help a little bit, but don't always need one. All right, let's get our squeegee out. and start squeegeeing from this end in, obviously to get the air out because we've trapped it here. But we know we have an open space over here. So we just want to get this piece down. And then from here, this is where we're going to start stretching in here first, and in here, and we're going to take our stretch from here. I'm going to heat in the surrounding area, a little bit in this area as well, but I'm going to be, and you can see it, it's already kind of just wants to go in there. Like I'm not even putting any heat in there. So it's really, we don't have far to go. This is why I wasn't really concerned about doing an inlay in this area. A lot of installers probably would have done an inlay here when using this chrome. I mean, I could be wrong. In my opinion, I've seen it. This is very common. BMW M4s, guys like to put them right here, right below the tail lights. What other cars? I mean, I've seen them on the Genesis Coupe on the bottom, for example. So it just really kind of depends on how far you know you can push the film. Anyways, let's get into doing this recess right here. So there's no real expanded pocket technique. If you've ever seen that, this is just the technique on where we're heating and how we're stretching it in. So where we're heating, the surrounding area, a little bit here, but mostly in the surrounding area. A little bit over here, we have to keep it soft, but mostly over in that area. What would help right now is to create a bit of relief from here. I want to be careful not to cut the seal for the trunk. Okay, so now we have a bit more relief, so that helps. Don't worry about this. I'm gonna actually fold this, and that's totally under the headlight. But we're always gonna create nice straight cuts either way. Okay, let's work it in a little bit further. Got a bit to go. It's a little bit easier to use your fingers and a glove in this situation, just for this area here. Once we get down here, it's flat, so we can use our squeegee again. But it goes in super effortlessly. I still can't friggin' say it.
Effortless.
Yeah, see, he can't say it either. No one can say it.
Effortlessly.
Effortlessly. I don't know, whatever. Clearly, I don't know how to talk. All right. Can't believe we've been trying to say that. All right. That side's done. Very minimal stretch. I'd say like 10%, 15%. There's no damage. There's no hazing. We know that's good. Same deal over here. A little bit of heat there, more over here. I'm going to start working it in a little bit. I'm going to pull up on the top because that just keeps everything balanced. So you can see the stretch is coming from over here. Okay, I'm going to create another relief cut sort of around here. Again, same idea as the other side. Actually have to come down a little bit further. Okay. So that creates a little bit less tension. Continue to work this in. I'm going to take the squeegee and just push it in a little bit more. There is an edge right here where it kind of won't stick. I saw the clear coat was lifting in this edge, so there's going to be a limit to how far we can go. Now we can take our squeegee and squeegee all of this right here. Get that in as far as we need it. What I can do now also, I can feel the edge here of where we're going to be tucking the film under. That's actually right there. Okay. I'm going to take it into about here, and then I'm going to trim it away, and then I'm going to finish off the top section here with no stress, because once I trim all this bottom away, it's now, think about it, once I trim this away, there's no tension pulling this anymore. This is going to be another flat piece if we look at it at this angle. So this will be a flat, very flat section, and we can just work the film in there with no strain. So what we can do is put a relief cut somewhere there. And now the film should want to go in a little bit easier over here. Or not, or it's just the clear coat not sticking, I'm not sure yet. No, we're totally fine here. So I'm going to cut on the top side of this edge, straight across. And again, do a relief cut over here. Don't really need one, but I'm going to do one anyways. Again, come across the top. You can get rid of this. Didn't quite cut all the way out here. So let's just tuck that in a little bit more. Perfect. All right. Now we have no tension at all there, or anywhere. I'm going to go over our work, as always. We're going to get rid of some of this excess film. Without cutting into the paint. Tuck that, fold that over right there. Again, with this little tab that I have left over on this side. And what we can do with this guy right here is cut right down it, fold that piece there, and then fold this piece right over it. And it's very good. Like, we don't have a huge wrinkle here. There is a little overlap, but that's not a big deal. And it's under the headlight, completely under the headlight. So you can see, look, we can see here that there's the paint missing right here. So we know that this bumper has either maybe been repainted or it's just a little bit weathered. I have no idea. The car was saturated with 3M primer, so. Andrew just spent like hours cleaning this stuff off with a gas mask. Because the chemicals you need to clean it off suck. Okay. Over there, we're going to do the same thing over here. Take that corner, slice down it. You can take that piece, fold it over, pull on it a little bit. There we go. This will never be seen by anyone, and it's still pretty clean, so not something that we really have to worry about. And there's no strain here. Okay, so another thing I'm going to show you right now, again with the knifeless tape. Take our thumb or finger, whatever you're comfortable with, take it, bring it right to the edge of the vinyl, give it a quick, oh, I just broke the knifeless tape. Give it a quick pull. That probably stuck to my glove, that's why.
That's why you leave 5 inches of it.
Yeah, and that's why you leave a little extra, exactly. On both ends, just in case you break one end off. There we go. So it cuts it again, zero fraying. Get that out of the way. Stuck here. There we go. So once I push this seam down, I'm going to have Andrew go in there and show you this seam. It follows the body line really, really nicely. You'll never notice this thing. So I haven't even pushed it down yet. Let me finish this off right now. Go over with my glove because we know we have to push down after removing that under layer of knifeless tape. And that is what that inlay looks like. So this is one of those things that you're gonna have to, most people are gonna have to be looking for. So we move back a foot, even a foot, we don't see it anymore, it becomes invisible. When we get up nice and close, like Andrew was showing you, you can see that it's nice and straight, everything's symmetrical, it follows the body line, and it just looks great for an inlay. That's how you do them. And we saw how much easier that top piece was to do, instead of trying to do this all in one shot, especially with this film. I would never do that inlay if I wasn't using chrome. So just to let you know that you shouldn't be doing that inlay unless you're using at least gloss chrome, but for sure this satin chrome is a lot more difficult to do. All right, so now it's just trimming and cutting. A lot of you are familiar with that. I mean, we're gonna come over here. I'm just gonna show you, I'll do one side. We don't need to do the other side. It's very, very basic. So we have where we've masked. I'm actually gonna snap a blade off because I know it's a little bit dull. And I'm just gonna wrap that blade up in some vinyl. That's gone. We don't have to worry about it cutting anyone. There are blade boxes you can use. I don't use them. It's probably a better practice, but this is just how I do it. I also throw my garbage on the ground all the time, instead of throwing it in the garbage can that's right next to me. Okay. We get rid of that piece, and then we tuck in. Sorry, I'm gonna fix up this piece right here. So we have to do this first. We're gonna go in just slightly with the squeegee. Okay. I've actually have the bumper pulled out on this side, not the other side. I just didn't bother with the other side because it's not that big of a deal. I was going to remove the bumper, but I didn't need to because this gap is actually huge. So I can cut in here really nicely. I've tucked in a little bit excess so that we have full coverage. I'm gonna start bringing this down, evening it out. I'm gonna come right off the top, okay? One cut down. Let's get this guy cleaned up over here. So, because of the inlay, I have a little bit of excess film. I just wanted to get rid of that. And there it is right there. This is all under the tail light. We can use our blade to lift that up, and we can start getting rid of some of this stuff. I should actually smooth this out a little bit more right here because I have some wrinkles and we don't want that to pull back. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna add some heat. Just want to even it out a little bit nicer. There we go. Okay. It is totally acceptable to cut in here on the paint. A lot of people do it. If they tell you they don't, they lie. Okay, that's hidden. We're not cutting on metal. It's not gonna rust. We're not gonna cause any serious damage to the car itself. All right. We can get rid of our painter's tape. Come around here and we're gonna do the fender, the wheel well over here. And we also have this trim piece right here. So what I like to do with this trim piece is I'm going to cut, I'm going to find where the edge is, right there. I'm going to cut on the edge, right on the edge of the trim piece. We have to be very cautious when we come around the corner here. So I always like to leave a little bit of excess. That way we have full coverage. So I'm going to go a little bit excess around there, and then we can come around the bottom here. So the same thing, I'm going to leave excess on that end, but I'm going to come around the bottom first. I'm not pushing hard, I'm not pushing into the paint. I'm simply gliding the very tip of my blade on the back edge of the chrome trim. I'm going to round it off really nicely. Same with this piece over here. So again, we have to find that edge, that perfect edge. Okay, now we can lift. So this is masked, as we saw earlier. Or maybe you didn't take note, but this was masked off with masking tape. So the film will lift off easily. We'll take a bit of heat right now. And I actually like to use the other squeegee for this. So I'm going to use this gray squeegee. It's a hard edge squeegee. A little bit better for things like this. I'm going to go over it a little bit with my finger and some heat just to round off those corners or those edges and get it in there a little bit, because your finger is much more conformable than a squeegee. Okay. We've added a bit of heat. We're going to start tucking it in. I have no doubt that we're going to be tucked in plenty of the way. So I have to cut off a little bit on the edge here, on the very end, because I've left a little bit too much excess and I can't swing it around. So this is where a really sharp blade comes in handy. So we have some very precise cutting to do. See if I actually cut through that. Okay. Now we can tuck it in right underneath that corner really nicely. Okay. These trim do remove, we didn't need to remove them. So same deal on this corner. I just left a little bit too much, but it's always better to leave a little bit too much than a little bit too little. All right, finish this guy off right here. I'm going to show you how to do one of these sensors right now. The bottom piece, very straightforward, same as the top. So the sensor, we're going to heat it and get the film in there a little bit, but remember, we're leaving the sensors completely cut out. I can actually see the indentation of the sensor in the bumper. It's really weird. There's like an indentation here too of something. I don't know what it is. So you notice more things with chrome. Get some glue on the car right now. So we're gonna go and bring it right around the edge, as tight as possible. It helps having it stuck to the center because it creates tension. If you want to make it really clean, you can remove the sensors completely, so that would require removing the bumper pretty much. But it's not really that necessary. This will clean off with some rubbing alcohol. Yep. And that's that. So you can see that we're near the end of the process here. This is how we wrapped the rear bumper. We have the trunk finished as well. did that in another video. Got to put the chrome trim back on. And tail lights back in after we wrap the quarter panel on the other side, and that's going to be it. Will I do one more video? I don't know if I'm going to do one more video on this car. I mean, it's another door, it's another side skirt, it's another front fender. The roof is stained gloss black. We are doing the wheel faces, so I'm going to be doing the wheel faces on video for you guys so you can see some of that. We're doing it in the same color to match, so that'll be pretty cool. It's going to really tie in the entire car together and really, I think, make it pop. So it's going to be some black and some red on the wheels, and they're not going totally red. Anyways, that's how we wrap the rear bumper using an inlay. One of those things that you would normally do only with satin chrome or chrome finishes, not with gloss, matte, satin, regular satin colors, all that kind of stuff. It should be a lot easier. You should be able to do that in one piece. All right, everyone, thanks for following. And for those of you who want to check out some more pictures, detailed videos, that kind of stuff, you can follow us on Instagram at CK Wraps. And that's it. Thanks. Take care.